All right, we are live, Lions Nation. Just jumping in, doing a quick little touch up on a little free agency, 2023 schedule, and some coaches that we've lost. All right, son. Let's start out with the 2023 schedule. All right. Nope, that didn't show up, did it? Can you see it?
No, I can't.
All
At
right,
least
hold
not
on
yet.
a second. Here it is.
Yeah, now
Now,
it's loading.
now there we go. There we go. Okay. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm trying to get it full screen, but we're taking a look right now at the 2023 schedule. And what I want to do, son, is let's go through the home and the away schedule. And let's talk about let's not we're not necessarily going to talk about wins, but let's kind of talk about the schedule and how the schedule looks. And let's just kind of do some predictions on if we think that there will be some primetime games. So let's start with the home games. Now, from what I can see right here on the schedule for our home games, we have, of course, the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings, followed by the Broncos, the Falcons, Panthers, Raiders, and the Seahawks again. Now, out of those 8 home games, we know that one of them will be a primetime game being Thanksgiving. If you had to pick a game, which one do you think would be the Thanksgiving game?
Mm, um, the Thanksgiving game. So I think that Thanksgiving game, honestly, they're not facing the strongest opponents at home, but I think that Thanksgiving game could probably be the Panthers. I don't think it'll be one of the NFC teams just because they went against the Vikings. No, actually they went against the Bills for Thanksgiving last year, didn't
Right.
they?
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, I think it could be one of the three teams: the Raiders, the Panthers, or the Broncos. It'd be cool to see them face the Raiders on Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't even know the last time I've seen the Lions play the Raiders. We've seen them play the Seahawks, and who knows how good the Falcons would be. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see them play the Raiders or the Broncos. But who knows? Even the Raiders and the Broncos, they're in some sketchy situations with their quarterbacks too. So I don't know.
I agree with you. For some reason, I get this feeling that it could be the Falcons. Excuse me. And the reason why I say that is because I'm not going to say that the Lions schedule winnable games on Thanksgiving because in 2022 they played the Bills, a game that they actually lost at home. So I don't want to say that they pick winnable games, but I will say that I would think that you may want a game that you can win, but or maybe they want an exciting game. That's why I agree with you, and I think that the Raiders would be a good at home game prime time. Now, let's just say that the Lions get a Monday night or a Sunday night game because I have a feeling that besides the Thanksgiving game, the Lions are at least going to get 2 primetime games this year, one on the road and one at home. So let's go with that theory, son, and let's say that they get the Panthers at home for Thanksgiving. Which one of these games do you think would make for a good Monday night or Sunday night game? Home game.
Well, what I'd want to see, I saw this a few weeks ago. Man, I'd love to see the Lions open it up uh, Monday night primetime against the Chiefs. I feel like that'd be pretty exciting. Maybe it wouldn't be as crazy for the rest of the NFL,
Mm,
but it'd be exciting for us as Lions fans because that's them to go against the defending Super Bowl champs, and because the they were saying something with the Chiefs where the Chiefs already have like a primetime game, and I think their first
mm.
game of the year is going to be a home game too. So
And it's going to be Thursday too. Because
okay,
yeah, the Super Bowl champ always plays on the first you know how Thursday opens the season. The Super Bowl champ always plays on that
okay.
Thursday.
See, no, I didn't know that.
hmm So if they had something like that, that means the Lions would be on prime time, in Kansas City.
But really, all of their away primetime games will be pretty good. I mean, I'd want to see them go against it doesn't really matter. I'd see the Cowboys, Ravens, the Bucks, or the Chargers for primetime.
I would agree. I would agree. And then I was going to say now, looking at the away games, because this year the AFC gets the 9 home games. Out of those away games, well, you already said the Chiefs, but is there another game that you could see possibly being a primetime game? Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night.
Yeah, I think the Chargers could be a primetime game.
Yes,
Um, yeah, and then I don't know. The Bucks are probably just going to be okay. I mean, because they're going to need a quarterback, right?
yes, they are.
So And the Cowboys and the Ravens could that obviously that could be a primetime game too, especially if the Ravens keep Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I would agree. I would agree. Especially, yeah, especially if they keep uh, Lamar Jackson. Their schedule, actually looks pretty exciting. I think that it's a winnable schedule for the Lions this year. But of course, you and I will dig into that more after the draft because we'll know where after the draft, or I should say free agency in the draft, because then we'll know more what their team looks like. But there's a lot of people out here saying that the Lions probably are going to win the NFC North. And I wish I would have pulled these articles up, son, but I didn't. But there's been quite a few people at ESPN on their NFL page when they had an article the other day that said, teams that are going to surprise in 2023, and two of the eight people picked the Lions. They said that they think that the Lions are going to be a surprise team. They think the Lions are poised to win, and that they could see the Lions winning the NFC North, which I could as well. Because if you think about our NFC North teams, the Vikings are the Vikings. The Vikings have always been a good team, but they've come up short. I really honestly believe that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be in Green Bay this year. And then it depends on what the Bears do. We know Justin Fields is a problem, but are they going to put enough around him that can threaten the Lions in 2023? I think would be the question. Would be the question there. Okay, let's go to let's talk about let's do some free agency talk next. Okay. Let's talk about the upcoming free agents. We know right now that I'm sorry. We know right now that teams are jockeying for position for the people that they are going to pick in free agency. And something that I actually saw right before you and I got on is this right here that I'm about to share, is that the Lions have voided
Oh,
DJ Chark's contract. Now, what that means is that they gave him that 1 year deal for 2022, but it was
right.
something in the article here that I read that said something about that teams can pick up an option, and I guess the Lions didn't do it. It says Shark was one of six players around the league whose contract for 2023 officially voided on Friday. The Lions decided, we know he signed to a 1 year deal. It was something in here. Oh yeah, it said this is by contractual design. It's a way for teams to spread out the salary cap hit for a player over a longer period of time. So the Lions have voided DJ Chark's contract, which means that he is officially he is officially a free agent. So what do you think we should do with DJ Chark, son? Do you think that since he's a free agent, do you think that we should take our first crack at him when free agency begins in a month, or do you think that the Lions are going to just let him hit the free agency market?
So I mean, did the Lions have the option to resign him for another 1 year deal, or what was the?
Let's see. I don't think so. It says right here that it's a salary cap move. It says Chark will cost the Lions $6 million in dead cap space. Chark is now unrestricted free agent. So I don't think so. I don't think because he's not restricted. I don't think that the Lions could actually just re-sign him.
Okay, what I think is gonna happen is I think they're gonna just restructure his contract, maybe, and maybe he'll be for a lesser cap hit or something. Because I don't know if
Okay.
they'll let him go to. I don't see why they would just let him go to free agency. He's a good enough receiver where I mean he's good enough. Like he's a big enough loss where I think you would almost have to draft a receiver then.
Uh, True, true. I agree with you. I could see the Lions possibly bringing him back on a maybe 2 or 3 year deal, but something that's restructured. They could say that that 1 year deal they gave him was enough, that he proved himself to be a valuable number two, three receiver, spot receiver. He's long. He gives them some. He can stretch the field, so maybe that's enough. But would you like to see them bring Chark back, or would you like to see them go for one of these free agent receivers like a Keenan Allen or somebody like that, like we've talked about before?
No, I want to see him come back. I think. I mean, he's had his moments where I thought he should be better, but no, I think he needs to come back though.
Okay. So you think that would be a good one, a good guy to bring back. And I don't disagree with that. I thought that he definitely had some shining moments in the season. So I have no issues with that. Let's go to our next free agency story. I don't know if you saw this, but I read an article earlier today that says Amon St. Brown tries to recruit Jalen Ramsey to the Lions. they mentioned three teams that could possibly trade for Jalen Ramsey, which were the Raiders, the Patriots, and the Lions. So, what do you think about Amon-Ra St. Brown, our star receiver, out here openly recruiting Jalen Ramsey to come to the Lions?
Yeah, I would say I did hear about that. I like it, but I think it would definitely have to be a trade if they got him because Jalen Ramsey already said that he
Yes.
definitely is not getting released by the Rams. Because I know Amon-Ra St. Brown mentioned, if he gets released by the Rams, that he should hit him up and stuff. But it definitely would have to be a trade, and I don't know what the Lions could trade for him unless it was one of those first round picks. Which I mean, I think that'd be fine. Um, but no, I'm happy that at least someone is trying to go out and get some star players. I haven't really heard that.
Right.
I guess I haven't really heard that ever from the Lions franchise or even from one of their players.
Yes, I agree. I think that if they had to give up the number 18 pick for Jalen Ramsey, I do think that's worth it. One of the reasons why is because Jalen Ramsey is a corner who's in his prime. He is a shutdown corner, and the Lions are probably going to take a corner with that pick anyway. So I don't know why they would take a young corner who may or may not pan out. And the truth is this: in this article right here that I have up on the screen, it talked about the fact that Jeff Okuda has not panned out as a shutdown corner. Yes, you and I watched every single game, and yes, Jeff Okuda had a better 2023. He did bounce back, but I would have to agree with the people who say that he has not stood out as a shutdown corner. You bring in Jalen Ramsey, you now have a shutdown corner who you can put on the field. Now you can have just Okuda be the number two, and then now you just have to fill in the 3 and 4 spots. But do you like the ideal of us going after Jalen Ramsey, or should we go after a corner who's 5, 6 years younger than him in the draft?
See, and the thing when we talk about this, people mention how Jalen Ramsey is stronger in the zone and he's weaker in man. I guess that comes with age and stuff. So on one hand, if you get a younger corner, he's younger. Might be a little quicker because he's a little younger. His instincts might be a little faster. Maybe he could be a little more. They could be a little more feisty in zone coverage. They could stay with the receivers a little more. But
Right.
then again, Jalen Ramsey is a leader and he is a proven star, and we know he's really good at run support and he's not afraid to hit too. Uh, I mean, I think you would go for Jalen Ramsey. I mean, I think you have to go for the people that are already proven. I don't know. For some
Right.
reason, Lions fans have the problem where they like mention that we shouldn't go for bigger players sometimes because of what it can cost a team. But like
Right.
every team has to have a star player, and the defense doesn't have any star players. They don't have someone that can go out there and make plays yet. Like we saw Kirby Joseph had flashes of it, but we still need a proven leader though.
I agree. Sometimes, yes, I agree. You do have to have those star players. I'm with you. I would love for us to trade for Jalen Ramsey. It would be nice to have a solid. I mean, since we got rid of Darius Slay, we have not had a shutdown corner on this team. But speaking of corners, I'm gonna hit you with another topic that I didn't tell you about. Speaking of corners and being shut down corners, let's talk about Ahmad Gardner for a moment. There was talk in 2022 that the Lions were thinking hard about Ahmad Gardner with that number 2 pick. Now, knowing what we know right now, did we make the right decision by taking Ada Hutchinson with the second pick over Sauce Gardner? What's your thoughts on that?
Ooh, yeah. See, that's a good question. But no, I still think the Lions made the right decision because
Hmm.
you really, I see. I don't know what the analogy would be, but like I guess it really was a trade off. I mean, okay, they get Ahmad Gardner, but who knows how Ahmad Gardner is because we're not getting any pressure. So,
There you go.
and then there's the thing with the eye test. Just because Aiden Hutchinson didn't, I mean, his stats were pretty crazy, but just because he didn't have like absolute Madden stats and 15 sacks, that doesn't mean he wasn't doing a lot of other things. He
Agreed.
also was getting double teamed like he was a JJ Watt or something. So, I mean,
Yes.
really, I think it's a trade off. I guess, I don't know. I guess it really wouldn't have, it's one of those things. I feel like, yeah, we could have got him and he could have been just as good, or he could have, been mediocre, just like another good rookie.
Correct. And I agree. I wanted your thoughts on it, but I absolutely agree that we made the right choice. When we were watching the draft, the Lions could not have got that card in quick enough to pick Agent Hutchinson. That's what the Lions wanted, and that's what they got. And I agree. You have to have listen. You have to build. I believe in building a football team from the inside out. That is defensive tackles to defensive ends and center to tackles on offense. That's how you build a good football team. That's how the Philadelphia Eagles have built their team, why they were so good this year. I know they didn't win the Super Bowl, but that's why they were so good. And yes, I agree. I think that the Lions made the right decision. We have a pass rusher. There's a lot of talk that we're going to get another pass rusher in this draft. So I think the Lions made the right decision. Now let's move on to our last topic for this show. We have lost two of our assistant coaches, son. We lost Deuce Staley to the Carolina Panthers for exactly the same position. So they call that a lateral move. He was our running backs coach slash assistant head coach. He's going to be the
Right.
exact same thing in Carolina. But we also lost defensive lines coach Todd Wash to the exact same thing. It's not a promotion. He's going to be the defensive lines coach for the Carolina Panthers. Now, unless I've missed something, I haven't heard about us replacing these guys yet. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball this time. Deuce Staley gone. Our running backs coach, assistant head coach is gone. What do you think about Deuce Staley's departure, and what did you think he did for the running backs in 2022?
I mean, I thought Deuce Staley was, I thought he was pretty good with the running backs. Especially we really saw that with Jamal Williams. But what and these are just rumors that you see online and stuff. I heard also maybe the reason was because Deuce Staley's style didn't match up with DeAndre Swift's style. So that could be another reason why he could be leaving. And that could make sense because we always point out uh, that moment in Hard Knocks where he was telling DeAndre Swift that you need to go out and look for that contact. Jamal
Right.
Williams is definitely a running back who would go out and look for that contact. So, you could see why one running back, did quite a bit better than the other one. So maybe it could be for, chemistry reasons too. But I know, it was also his mom's health reasons. But I guess it's weird that they
Yes.
both went to
Yes.
the Panthers though.
I thought that was weird too. Now I was going to bring that up, so I was going to say now, in fairness, Deuce Staley did come out and say that it wasn't that he wanted to leave the Lions; it was just that he needed to be closer to home because of his family members' health issues, and that is understandable because because I thought about that and I said, it doesn't make sense for Deuce Staley to leave just to have the exact same position. If he was leaving to be the offensive coordinator, I understand that. But for the same position, but I guess we'll give him a break on that, right? Well, that's understandable. But what about Todd Wash? First of all, what did you think about the job he did with our defensive line this year? But what do you think about him going to Carolina, taking exactly the same position?
Yeah, I mean, I thought our defensive line was much improved. Uh, I got to be real. I had no idea he was our defensive line coach, but
Right, right.
um,
Likewise.
I thought the defensive line was much improved from the years before. I wonder what's going on in Carolina for him to want to be the defensive line coach there. I don't know. Well, I guess they do have one good lineman. I forgot his name though.
Brian
But
Burns.
right, but because I know we wanted the Lions to trade for him a while back, but
Yes, we did. Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll be able to find another good replacements. I mean, at least we didn't lose our OC, our offensive coordinator, and
Yeah,
our
Ben,
defensive
ben
coordinator.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I know. I know. I was very happy that we didn't lose him. And I'm not saying that these guys it won't hurt, but positional coaches sometimes you can find guys to do that job. Sometimes they will promote somebody from within. So there could be another kid, another well, I shouldn't necessarily say kid, but another coach on the staff who can move right into Deuce Staley's spot. Maybe not be the assistant head coach, but to be the running backs coach, or maybe Coach Dan Campbell goes out and get a running backs coach who can do something with these guys, blend in with these guys. But that's I agree with you on that. It's too. I just thought it was kind of odd. That's why I want to talk about it. That we lost two assistant coaches to the Carolina Panthers, a team that's also rebuilding. So I thought that was odd. But is there anything else you want to touch on?
Um. No, not yet. Until the combine comes out.
Yes,
Then we'll
yes,
be able
absolutely.
to talk more about some certain prospects.
Oh, absolutely. We are going to talk about the combine in a couple of weeks when it comes out. We're going to see who we like that the Lions could be going after, and anyone that we think the Lions are going after, or any rumors we hear. Not to mention, in about a month, free agency starts. So we'll be able to talk about the combine. We'll be able to talk about free agency, and if anything else pops up Lions related, we will pop in. But then I can't think of anything else. I think we pretty much hit it all. And since you don't have anything else, I'm going to say, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking Lions football. Other than that, that's all we got. Peace.
Peace.